is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop.
Yeah.
This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Brother, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Yeah.
Charmander. Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shake Gilgeous Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what
Schlecht?
it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend, Michele Berra, I want to tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. You can call or text Drew 405-478-7714. Call or text Aaron 405-773-5500 today. Listen, Shelter Insurance is one of the best insurance companies in the state of Oklahoma, and the people have said so. 6 out of the last 7 years, it has been voted the best insurance company in the state of Oklahoma. And listen, not only do you get great insurance, but you get just quality care from Aaron and Drew. So if you are looking to switch, or if you're just needing car insurance or home insurance, give Aaron or Drew Reese a call, 405-773-5500, or call or text that number. We'll get you right to Aaron, 405-478-7714. For Drew, give them a call or text today. Support the people that support Down to Dunk. With me on a Sunday morning is my good friend, Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
It's getting like a normal time now, the Sunday morning. It's more regular. We do it probably every other week or so. So we're getting used to it. Come on, Dunkers. Let's meet up at 7 a.m. on Sunday. Just wake up. It's not that hard. And start your last day of the weekend by listening to a podcast.
That's right.
That's awesome. Just do your power walk or power run, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Live, Down to Dunk, in your AirPods or whatever pod you lower stuff that you're listening music or podcast into. Just do that.
Well, Michele, I wanted to ask you about Eurobasket. And
watching very little, probably less than you.
It's more a conceptual question than it is like exactly what's happening in Eurobasket.
Mm-hmm.
So we see players like Dennis Schroeder playing amazing basketball.
Yeah.
When it comes to the NBA, and it's like, oh, he's a backup. When you watch him play, if you go watch Dennis play, and you guys have seen this in the Olympics and Eurobasket, he's unbelievable. He looks like a superstar. If he was like an undrafted guy, we were watching him overseas, we would think this guy's going to have a chance to be like an All-NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes over here, and not the case. Can you explain to me why that is?
So there are different types of NBA player that are currently destroying Eurobasket. First type, the Jokic Şengün type. Second type, the Luka type, which is just Luka basically.
Yep.
You can probably put Markkanen in the same kind of player that Luka is, but not in a Eurobasket perspective. And then you have Schroeder and the guards. So first of all, you don't have the same level of space that you have in the NBA, and you need to play a different kind of basketball. But that is, I would say, counters what we see, because with less space, you assume NBA players will be a little bit more cramped and therefore less effective.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the disadvantage of Eurobasket. But then you start thinking about two very simple things: quality of the other guys in terms of technical attributes, and most of all, physical attributes. I watch all the games that Italy played. I don't have the subscription to the paid version to see like all the other teams playing, so I just see highlights here and there. But with Italy, I watched the game against Luka very carefully, and it's just Luka is faster, which big thing, stronger, and so advanced in terms of how we finish at the basket that is like, it's not fair game. Fontecchio, who is an NBA player, can't guard Luka in the NBA, cannot guard him in an Eurobasket setting. You may get away with double teaming and do stuff like that, but he's so different, the talent level between the normal Eurobasket player and these kind of NBA rotation guys, that is, again, I would not project anything. I mean, Lauri Markkanen 2 summers ago, I think, was destroying whatever FIBA competition. And then he's like, yes, he's a very good player in the NBA, a borderline all-star, but not the same level of player that you can see in the Eurobasket. I think that with Şengün, he fits the FIBA basket so well because Turkey puts the ball in his hands a lot. He can do basically everything. But he has games where he's not efficient, but he can produce so much that he can still change and affect a game at Eurobasket. So to wrap up this very long and I would say a little bit convoluted thought that I have, it's normal to have like great or normal NBA player perform really well in FIBA, especially guys that have a physical advantage. And Dennis Schroeder has a bursting speed that nobody can really sustain in the FIBA world. So, and if you have like physicality, like Giannis, like even Lauri or Şengün and Jokic, I mean, how can you guard Jokic? You barely can in the NBA. So can you imagine like a normal big man, FIBA big man, like the guys that Italy was lining up, guys that are like, a normal player that will not touch summer league, let alone NBA courts. Can you imagine them guarding Jokic? They tried.
Yeah, they tried.
So it's that is my thinking. Don't read too much in international play. Maybe in some Olympics or World Cup settings where you have like the full supercharged version, we will see it in the Los Angeles Olympics, I'm sure. Like the best teams who will actually give themselves fit, but then you have all the NBA players. So again, I think it's normal, and I would not read too much into it.
Yeah, I think it's just been interesting watching, some of this, and like even just seeing people's reactions to it. I'm like, you know what? Like we've been down this road so many times with so many of these players.
Yeah. I would not buy all NBA stocks for Şengün, like maybe first, second team all NBA stocks, because of what he's doing in the Eurobasket. I think that he is on a certain track, NBA wise. Just stick to that, and it's probably a better evaluation.
Yeah. It would be surprising to me. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would be surprising to me if we came back and Şengün was like one of the best like 7 players in the NBA, and like with what he's looked like in Eurobasket. Like I just don't.
Yeah. Same with Lauri. I mean, Lauri Markkanen, he has been awesome, like 30 points per game, awesome in certain moments in Eurobasket or FIBA competition. I mean, can you imagine in Italy, a 6'7" guy is probably a center. Can you imagine like having a 6'11" guy that can bomb from 3 at 7 or 8, threes per game. I mean, that is an unbelievable European player, Eurobasket player. That is almost illegal. Guess what? In the NBA, you have plenty of them, and it's standard to guard them. So that is also a point. In the NBA, you know what to expect from Dennis Schroeder, and you practiced defense against him so many times. You can cheat on him as much as you want, probably. You can go under screens. In FIBA, you cannot recover if you go under. Either you go up or you're cooked because he's so much faster than you.
Yeah.
So, again, maybe I'm wrong, but I would be very, very cautious and not project too much.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of projecting too much, we are going to do summer homework part 3.
Yeah.
The remaining players on the roster. Excuse me. First player that we're going to talk about is Isaiah Hartenstein, who we've seen play one season for the Thunder. It was such a weird start to his season. He only played 57 games, but he broke his hand, to start the season. And then when he came back, it was just this immediate impact where it was oh, wow. This is a super smart, super good player. He averaged 11 points, 10 boards, 3.8 assists per game with a block and almost a steal per game for the Thunder in 27 minutes. And he was exactly what they needed. They needed a big like this, not only for the rebounding. Certainly the rebounding was huge, but the way that he executed the offense and DHOs and his ability to find guys from the nail is really, really important for this team. He keeps the offense flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he might be one of the. I think he actually was telling. I was talking to his dad, and I was like, you know what? I think that Isaiah might be the best passer on the team, and he was like, I agree. He's like, I'm a little biased, but I agree.
A little biased.
A little bit biased. There were definitely parts, and maybe that's a little bit unfair to some of the other guys on the team, but there were parts of the season where it really felt like that. Watching this team night in, night out. Isaiah is one of the best passers on the team. He passes guys open.
Yeah.
If you cut, Isaiah is going to find you. So there was so much, that we got to witness last year, and I think that's going to continue to grow. I think some people forget too. This guy's not some old, his career's completely defined. He's just entering his prime. He's 27 years old.
Yeah. This is nuts, by the way, how many players OKC has entering or just scratching the beginning of their primes.
Totally.
The only one that is out is Caruso.
Yeah.
Who cares if he really improves? It just stayed there.
Yeah, Caruso is really the only guy that you feel pretty confident he's kind of defined who he is, and that's one of the best role players in the NBA.
Yeah.
As is Isaiah, but his career is not quite yet completely defined yet as to what he's going to be.
Yeah, I completely agree with the idea that you have, and also Isaiah's dad. He is one of the best passer. I would say best shot creator on the team, not just with the passing, but also with the screening. So I think that part of the homework is to keep working, especially with Holmgren in this facilitator / creator kind of role, which is crucial. I think that the chemistry between him and Chad is the most important part. And I think that he is the one who needs to learn and to do a lot of the work in how can we make this an efficient offense. Something that I think, two things that I think he can work on is working a little bit more as a vertical spacer. He is not like a prime DeAndre Jordan jumper. He will never be. But still, vertical space means cutting at the right time more so than jumping higher than everybody. So I really think that Hartenstein has elite timing in general, and working on setting a screen and then giving the avenue for a pick and roll where the ball goes up, it's something that he can really, really master. And also just being a little bit more aggressive. I think that in the games where he is a guy that can make points, score points, he generally is more involved into the offense because the defense can kind of cheat a little bit on Hartenstein, especially in games where it's not like every time that they get the ball, I either create a shot or I do something with it. So having a little bit more of aggressiveness offensively, I think it's something that he can benefit from. He and the team, especially because again, when Hartenstein is dangerous, he doesn't have to score 25 points. But if you start the game by being a little bit aggressive, maybe taking 2-3 shots in the first quarter, so that the defense recognize, oh, I have to take care of 5 players now. That is bad. That is the point that I think he can develop a little bit.
Yeah, I think that, and especially with what we saw in the playoffs, I feel like as the playoffs kind of went on, he just took less shots. And I think that he needs to, like in the regular season, he took 4 of those, like in the paint, non-restricted area shots, the little push shot. Took like on average, according to NBA.com, he took 4 per game. That went down to 2 in the playoffs. I just think that he needs to like remain confident in his ability to score, because in the playoffs, which maybe I'm the dumb one because they won the freaking title, but I just would love to see him like continue to like be confident in that, because that particular shot I think is so helpful to the offense, just because you have guys that can get all the way to the paint. You have 3-point shooters, but if you have that in-between game, which is beneficial to Shea and J-Dub, but also to iHeart, if you get that shot as J-Dub or Shea or whoever is getting to the basket and you can dump it off to him, like I just would have liked to see a little bit more of that in the playoffs, just because there were just games where they really needed more from somebody else. And I think iHeart can continue to develop and get better as an offensive player and as a scorer in general. I know that's not really like how people think of him, but I do think that as he like gets into his prime, I think that he can certainly, just develop his confidence as an offensive player, because I think he's very good. And so I'm intrigued to see if that can happen. Also, maybe hit a 3 this year.
Yeah, from the corners.
Maybe hit 1.
Yeah, just 1. Just
a suggestion.
Yeah. You can even like the heaves will count, so you can just try them.
Yeah,
if they don't go in, it's not on your stats, so you can actually take them with ease.
Yeah, it was his. He doesn't take a lot of threes. He's taken 106 in his career, and this is the second time that he's not made one in a season. His second year, he took 5 and missed all of them.
Yeah.
He did have a season with the Clippers where, and this is not very many, but in 68 games he took 30, and he hit 14 of them. So that
Yeah, he can take 1 per game from the corner. Nobody will complain in OKC. If you hit like 20, just don't do that as much in the playoffs, but try. That is another thing that where Hartenstein can really try out these things next season, because again, they will have opportunities. By the way, not to brag too much as a fan, or slash guys who follows the team, but this is a great contract. Like, for the production that he had already done for OKC, it's the entire value basically. You can just thinking about him playing for free. Caruso no, because it's like a 4-year, but for him, it's that contract already paid itself, which is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, he was the perfect player.
Yeah,
he was like the missing link in so many ways. And
Yeah.
I do think that another thing that needs to improve, and I think that he knows this and the team knows this, is that just his connection with Chet just needs to get better. And
Yeah.
a lot of that will just come with reps. I mean, they did not play that many games together.
Yeah.
And so, and then having to learn on the fly to a degree in the playoffs is really tough. Really
Yeah.
tough to do. And so
Yeah,
hopefully
without
those guys will get, a lot more time, this season to kind of work out spacing and work out timing and all of that, and not like it was bad, but I just think that like that two big lineup has not yet been completely optimized yet, which is like another reason why the rest of the league should be terrified of this team. There are so many reasons, but like the fact that they didn't fully optimize that that double big lineup, I just think that I think it's going to happen. Like these guys are too smart, they're too driven, like most of these guys are way too unselfish for this not to work.
Mhm.
And so I look forward to seeing that lineup like continue to develop.
Yeah. Same. We'll see. By the way, I was against like giving 30 to Hartenstein. That is just for the record. I said, I think either privately to you or on the pod, isn't it better to give like a rookie deal to someone just as an insurance? Chat will be okay. I mean, as a center. I mean, turns out it's great that I don't work for the team or that nobody listened to my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think I felt the same. I didn't
30 millions. That seemed a lot.
I didn't think they would do it. I just didn't think they would do it, and so they did it, and it was the right thing to do. So, I don't know. It's exciting that we get another season with Hartenstein. Okay. Also, everybody work on saying Hartenstein. Just say it right, please.
Stein, not Steen. Hartenstein.
It's not that hard.
Same with Frankenstein, not Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Lugens Dort.
I feel that for Lou Dort, there is the Alex Spears special, which is, can you just be a little bit more efficient at the rim? Just a little bit. Just work on that. I know that it's probably the same for the past few years. But one part of his game that was an issue was the three-point shooting, and he really corrected that. He is working on efficiency at the rim, but I think that there can be steps made there as well. He can also work a little bit more into not playmaking as a whole, like creating with the ball in his hands, but being a little bit more quick with the passing, like trying to open the extra pass a little bit quicker so that the defense is a little bit behind. Because for OKC, I mean, I don't remember who you were talking to, probably with Alex or with someone else. There were moments about stagnant offense in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you can think of, this is lack of shooting. This is lack of fancy offense. Sometimes it's just lack of quick processing by certain players. And I think that Dort, he's not the quickest in terms of passing trigger. So I really think that doing that a little bit more and also screen a little bit more. Just move around, screen, relocate. Move around, screen, relocate. Those things are very important in creating a more complex NBA offense without requiring you to do too much. I mean, nobody is asking Lou Dort to become like an on-ball maestro in terms of passing, but just be a little bit more quick with your passing. And again, here we are nitpicking on a guy that he's clearly dragging. He has dragged OKC throughout the playoffs with masterful performance defensively and also offensively, because I mean, Lou Dort is the guy who over the past 5 years probably improved the most in areas that were not really believable, I think, a couple of years ago, to become like a reliable three-point shooter, not just hey, spot up when nobody guards you, but like shots from half court that can decide a game. That is a development that nobody really expected or believed that it was possible. Lou clearly believed that. I think that he's working on the mid range is something that can be valuable, especially if he's mindful about how and when he needs to take them. But again, I would just stick with a little bit more reps at the rim and quicker passing as the main points.
In the playoffs, do you know what Dort shot in the restricted area?
I don't know.
You want to take a guess?
54.5%.
He shot 84.6% in their
Come
restricted
on.
area in the playoffs.
How many attempts? 12?
No, Michele, it was 13. Okay. He's 11 or 13 in the restricted area.
Nice. Well, I mean, how many games? Must be 4 first round, then 7, 5, so 16. Was it 23 games?
Yeah, 23. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit low in terms of volume. I would say just a bit.
It's quite low.
Yeah.
It's quite low. J-Dub had the most on the team in the restricted area in the playoffs. He had 124 attempts.
5 per game.
Shea had less than Dub did, which is just kind of shocking to see. Shea had 113.
Yeah.
So that is wild to
It is.
see that number. But it also says something about Lou's decision making too.
Yeah.
Because I mean we would get these wild Dort drives, back in like the iteration where he's scoring like 17 a game, where we would just get these drives that just went to nowhere. Like these are like the 11 of 13 is like transition or wide open. Like these are like no-brainer situations where he should be trying to score at the basket. The rest, he was a floor spacer. He took 7 above the break threes. He took 43 corner threes. He took 6 mid-range shots. You know how many he made?
2?
0.
No, come on. I remember 1. I vividly remember at least 1.
There
That's
is
why I said 2.
in the paint non-restricted that went in. There was 1.
Okay, I remember that one.
So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
but 6 is fine. Who cares? I mean, you can try them.
Yeah, I mean it's an insignificant number. I mean,
Exactly.
I think that like the thing is like there aren't a lot of like really good 3-and-D players in the league that can like stay and kind of function within NBA offense, but Dort has kind of figured it out. Like I think that you could make the argument that he's the best 3-and-D player in the NBA. With regards to the level of defense that you get from him and the fact that a lot of 3-and-D guys are guys that learned how to shoot in the NBA. And because of that, when they get in tight spots, they don't trust themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And Dort
trusts himself.
Dort, he has no conscience at all with regards to shooting the rock. And that is a superpower.
And
it's
dangerous one.
It is.
Power, nevertheless.
You wield, I mean, with great power comes great responsibility for Lou Dort. And, also shout out to Mark Daignault, who continued to trust him. Because in that Denver series, as we headed into game 5, it was like Dort time might be up, is how it felt.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we said as much, heading into game 5. And he trusted him, and he delivered those 3 threes when we were in like the desert of NBA offenses. It was just like, how are the Thunder going to climb back into this? And Dort did it. Shout out to Lou Dort.
But also in the finals, like he made a few shots here and there that were just game killers for Indiana.
Absolutely. It's it's wild. What if I would have told you back in 2021, hey, Luguentz Dort is going to be a starter on an NBA Finals team and he is going to be, by the end of it, one of the key reasons that they actually win the whole thing.
If you just stop at the first part and maybe add, he will also shoot 40%, near 40% the past 2 years, playoffs and regular season combined. I would say if that happens, I will have a Dort tattoo on my butt.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
you were out. There were points in the Dort experience that you were just out.
Oh yeah. I suggested that was a addiction by subtraction. Like he was not responsible on offense, and he was declining defensively. And those things were true at the time. I still think that was the case. I also failed recognizing the fact that Lou was extremely coachable and extremely aware.
Yeah,
that the things that he was doing were real. We're okay with the situation, and those things will not be part of his future self.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, now I have a playground. Try everything that you want. It's fine if the people will say that you are inefficient and blah, blah, blah. Just know that this is a playground that you have for a very limited amount of time. You can do whatever you want, and then we will just tighten the screw whenever. And you need to be ready for that whenever. Mm-hmm. And it's not an easy path, because you made like hey, let's try out, call Darius Baisley and see. But it is what happened. So I stay by the fact that he was not an efficient player, not a player necessarily conducive to winning basketball, playing that kind of ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that he changed. He changed, he adapted, and he grew into an amazing basketball player. So again, if that was me, not knowing or just seeing, then I would probably pull the trigger on a deal. Mm-hmm. Probably OKC is not with the championship right now. So again, like for the Hartenstein, commenting and reacting to something, it's in an impatient way. It's not the way you go if you want to really manage the team and extract the most value, which, thank God, Stan Presti is doing. So,
yeah, and Mark is coaching too. Mark is such a huge piece of all of that. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We will talk about Nikola Topic, Isaiah Joe, Alex Caruso. We'll be right back. And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you about my friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. Ring Family Dentistry takes a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brendan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth, plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house. Call to schedule your appointment, 405-621-1555, or make an appointment online at ringfamilydentistry.com. Support the people that support Down to Dunk. Okay, Michele, let's talk about Nikola Topic, who we haven't seen play in the NBA yet.
Yeah, still have homework for him. Okay. By the way, I actually filled these notes while doing my power walk in the morning using recording. And right now I don't have any Nikola Topic. I have though Nikola Tokic right here. So Tokic or Topic. Yeah. I think that these are very, I would say, obvious stuff. But I started from the footage that we had at our disposal when we were covering the draft for him. And I think that the two things that were obvious to me were not his three-point shooting, a little bit his defense, but strength. I mean, he is and was extremely skinny. And the physical tool that you need in order to play the NBA as a point guard is shiftiness, which he has, ability to play angles that he has, but also core strength. And this is how Shea become Shea. I mean, I remember the first year when they were pushing him left, and he was just being pushed around. Now he will not be pushed. He will push you off. He will just be stronger than you most of the time.
Yep.
And this is something that Topic has to work on immediately. And I think that it is part of the plan. I mean, to what degree? It's always difficult because not everybody responds in the same way. Not everybody is Shea's body. So you cannot ask him to be as strong as Shea by year 2. He can also work for sure on on-ball security. And that was abundantly clear in Summer League that like live ball turnovers are part of his game. And I think that is something that you need to adapt as quickly as you can in the NBA, especially if you are a ball handler. And you can connect that to what Chet Holmgren had the first year, and also I think part of the second year with his attempts to put the ball on the court. For a big man, that is a nice to have, but not a no-go. Like if you keep the ball high, if you are not good in ball security, then you probably lose a lot if you are a ball handler, which is, again, a very obvious statement. Still, I think that these are the 2 main points.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's funny. It's going to be so interesting to watch him because he is so he's so counter to what they've played like last year in so many ways. Like they had at guard, for the most part, you are this like crazy defender, which is not what he is. And then offensively, they never turn the ball over. You know, and there weren't a lot of like wild or fancy passes either. Like for the most part, they don't turn the ball over because either the guy that has the ball is going to shoot it, or they're making very simple, read and react plays. You know, not that they're like super easy, but there's nothing like super fancy about it. It's pretty straightforward basketball where it's like really like share the ball finds energy type of stuff. Where Topic can get pretty wild, but he can throw some incredible passes. I think that he immediately steps on the floor and he's the best, like, just natural passer.
Yeah, live ball passer.
Yeah, great live ball passer. He's special. Like there's something very special about the way that he can pass the basketball.
Yeah, I agree.
And so fitting that in to this team is going to be super interesting because it's like easy to find like a role for a guy like Casey Wallace, even like Brooks Barnheiser. Like I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like Brooks, it's not hard to imagine Brooks playing on this team. It's not hard to imagine it. It's kind of hard to imagine throwing Nikola Topic in there and like thinking about like what's going to happen. And I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm not even down on Topic. I just think that, we've seen a player that's a similar archetype in Josh Giddey on this team. And I think it's too simple to say that like, that's exactly what it will look like. Now it's one of the outcomes. Certainly. Yeah. And I'm intrigued to see what will happen, but I think turnovers is going to be a huge one that he's going to need to improve on, to play significant minutes with this team. And then, strength in general, like for multiple purposes, is going to be crucial for him going forward. I think those things, and then like the most obvious thing is just the outside shooting. That's the most obvious thing that he needs to improve at. And
I weirdly have confidence.
Okay.
Because he has great touch, and you can tell that he has. So I think that it will be there someday. With Josh Giddey, you had to think about how he could be an outside shooter because of the way in which he was taking shots and the way in which he was just letting the ball go with his fingertips at the rim. With Topic, that concern on me, it's basically non-existent. It's more of, hey, he took some wild attempts. Even in Summer League, he's not taking catch and shoot shots, which is and he was not doing that in Mega or Red Star where he play in the Balkanic area. So I really think that we have not seen the potential of Topic as an off-ball shooter. And in the NBA, if you are a point guard, yes, the off-screen three, it's very important, and so it's okay if he tries that. But the ball finds you again in a possession, even if you are the main ball handler. And in those moments, I think that Topic's shot can be evaluated a little bit better if he has like a steady dose of catch and shoot threes and off the dribble three. Please, sorry for interrupting you.
No. I'm the thing about him that I think is the most intriguing is probably his ability in the pick and roll.
Yeah.
So I'm specifically intrigued by if they give him and Chet like minutes together, where Chet is a screener, and whether Chet is rolling or popping or whatever. The thing that is also special about him outside of the passing is his ability to get into the paint and score at the rim. Like he's got, like you said, incredible touch, but he can get there. He's not like the fastest guy. He's not the most physical guy, but like he finds ways and angles to get to the basket.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have the space, he will find guys, whether it's on the perimeter or if whatever big is playing off of him, like he will find those guys. And so, but yeah, I think I don't disagree. I just wonder, what does he look like as like a bit player, on this team, which is what he'll be. Like he's not. There were times where you would watch, particular games of him, before he came over to the U.S. You're like, oh my gosh, like this guy's amazing. But he was also like one of like the guys.
Yeah.
And so I just wonder, whenever he's a more of a bit player, more of a bench player, like what does that look like? How does that translate? There's just a lot of questions that I don't have the answer to with him, and it doesn't. I'm not honestly leaning one way or the other on Topic. I just don't know. Because the talent is tremendous. I just don't know what that looks like on the Thunder. It could end up being amazing, and he's one of their best 6 players. Like I think that is an outcome. He was a lottery pick for a reason.
Yeah.
And I do think that is like one of the outcomes where he's like one of the best 5 or 6 players on this team. And they have to kind of reshape the way they play in some ways because of him. Like he's got that level of talent. I think that is true. There's also a world where it like doesn't work out. Like there are just a wide range of outcomes with him where like Case and Wallace, there's not like a crazy wide spectrum of outcomes. Like he's a very good defender. Like he's at baseline going to be a rotation player on this team. I just think like the Topic, range of outcomes is wide.
It is. And, but there is a blueprint for him to work. And I think that we saw it for glimpses with his fellow Serbian Micic at a point. That did not work, I think, for a variety of reasons. I was very high on Micic. Awfully wrong on that.
The emergency pod we did.
I was very high. I was really high on the potential.
Me too. I think we were all high on our own supply when it came to Micic.
Yeah. Thank God we have Joe that like temper with our excitement sometimes. But anyhow, I think that giving Dub a real playmaker is going to make his offense looks just insane, which is part of the deal. Like, I think that Topic can unlock versions of J-Dub that are just insanely efficient. Just give Dub like 4 threes in a quarter with the feed set, and that unit will work. Give like Chet 2 pick and pops in a row, and that unit will work. Yeah. So I really think that the manipulation of pick and roll, which is something that you said, it's something that it's different from Josh Giddey. I'm not saying better, because Giddey, again, I want to state that I believe that $100 million for Josh Giddey is a good contract in the NBA because he's a good player.
Good player. Yeah.
Just the player that cannot put enough pressure on the rim, which is something that OKC relies on to create offense at a very high degree. Topic is a guy that showed potential to do so. Will he? I don't know. But if he's a guy that can put pressure at the rim and can pass out to open shooters, then you can close your eyes and imagine a unit with Topic, either Wallace or Caruso, Dub, maybe Wiggins and Chet, and that unit will just bomb. And you will have like spacing and defense. You want to have more defense? Just put Wallace and Caruso and Dub as your wings plus Holmgren. That unit will be super defensively, no matter what Topic does, because you have 4 premier defenders. You can put even Dort there instead of Caruso and just have like more point of attack and slide Topic in a wing defender kind of role. With Chet Holmgren there, the defense will work in the regular season. So I really think that there is room to see if Topic can take like a role. You already know that some other players like AJ Mitchell and guys like that will have a role if they can plays them. With Topic is, can he have a role? And the fact that he's different, I think it's part of the allure and the value.
Agreed on that one. Okay, Isaiah Joe.
Can I? It's very simple for me. Joe has to take a wider variety of threes.
Yeah.
And just be quicker and with less just thinking behind. He has to be quicker than Anthony Morrow, and he just needs to take deeper threes, just a variety of threes that he's not taking. He has mastered a few initial shots, like the one with Hartenstein where he curls Hartenstein set of threes, then the ball finds Joe and Joe takes a three. That is a perfect way for Joe to start the game. If you take away that, he doesn't start the game in the same way. So Joe has to be a guy that takes 6 threes no matter when, no matter how. He has to take him, and he has to be extremely quick. So instead of saying, okay, work on his defense, no, you are the best shooter in terms of 3-point shots on the team by far. Just be better at that. Just focus on, I'm open from 32 feet, I'm taking it. I actually want to get that shot. I'm not just there roaming. I want to take that 30-footer. I want to take that ill-advised off-the-balance three. He has to be just the 3-point machine, because I think that version of Joe is the one that can really change games. These units with Shea are just phenomenal in terms of net rating. And I think that the touch time, the amount of milliseconds that the ball has to stick in his hands has to go low and just be that guy where the defense cannot remove his eyes from you. That is what Isaiah Joe needs to work on.
Yeah. His 3-point production in the playoffs just drops off a cliff.
Yeah.
And he's still obviously a valuable player, but it's like, man, he's just has to take more threes. Like I totally agree. He just needs to take more threes. And some of it is like his opportunity is kind of diminished in the playoffs to a degree. But I would love to see him take more threes. I also think he just needs to continue to get stronger, which I think he is continuing. He's doing that. Like he's getting stronger, but I think if he's a little bit stronger, he could hold up a little better defensively. I don't know. He's not as bad defensively as some would think. I think he's improved. He's improved a ton since he's gotten to the league. It's pretty crazy what he's been able to do, because he was basically just like not a rotation guy, before he got here. And then it took time, but he developed into like a really good rotation player for the Thunder. So yeah, I don't disagree. His game is pretty simple for the most part, but I would love to see him make an impact in a playoff series. That's in later rounds, like there be an Isaiah Joe game where he hits like 8 threes or something. It doesn't have to be 8,
Yeah.
5 or 6. Like I think he has that in him. Like we all know that. So I would love to see him find a variety of threes, like you said.
Can I trivia you quickly? Just
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
duper quick.
Yeah.
Guess the net rating of lineups with him, Shea, and J Will. It's 600 possession. So not like it's not insubstantial.
Plus 36.
28.
Okay. I took
that is mind-boggling. In the playoffs, they were plus 36, but on 30 possessions. Like him, J Will, and Shea just space the hell out and cook.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Isaiah Joe mold. They have to go like that.
Yeah, and I mean it illustrates not only like how good Joe is, but just like give Shea a just insane shooter and like watch them win.
Yeah.
Like that's just, to me, it's a pretty simple equation there.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso, he is one of the guys that we talked about. Like he is one of the he is the oldest player on the team. He's a guy that has improved so much since he entered the NBA and has become, you could make the argument he's the best role player in the NBA.
Yeah.
There's not
one of them, yes,
many guys that can do what he does defensively. I mean, he guards 1 through 5 and he's 6'5". Like if you didn't know who he was and he walked into a restaurant, you would not think like that is a professional basketball player that could guard Nikola Jokic in game 7 of the NBA Finals. But that's who he is, and he's tremendous. And he stepped up his 3-point production in the playoffs, and saved the Thunder's butts in so many ways, and not just hitting threes, but hitting mid-range shots. I mean, you go back to that game 4 in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah,
he saved them in so many ways during that game, just kind of keeping them afloat with making shots. And so he was huge. The Thunder don't win the title without him.
Isn't it great that you can say that for many players, that this is really a team title? Of course, Shea was the best player. Of course, Dub made 40. But this is, you can pinpoint to basically the entire roster, let alone maybe a few guys. But you have 4, 5, 6 even guys that you can say, he won them a game. He won them moments of the finals. Yeah. So this is great. I have just one homework. Can you guess what that is?
Stay healthy.
Clearly. That is the only goal. I said for the entire season, I can, it's not necessary. Just be healthy from, I would say, beginning of March to end of June. That is more than enough.
Yeah.
If you can say more, then it's great for you and for the team. But that is the relevant part.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that he has to really. I think you can say, okay, just be a little bit more irresponsible with the attempts from 3. Just let it fly. Yeah, but that is not an homework. That is a trigger for the regular season. He has to rest. He has to like work on his body. Maybe go plant based like Chris Paul, doing those stuff that can really extend your health and be beneficial for your long-term health status. Because I think that this is the key for Caruso and for the Thunder over the next 36 months. Because Caruso has a great contract, in my opinion, especially if this is the production that you get, but he has to stay healthy. So that is the big part of Caruso's summers. Because again, those are very important to establish a certain to fix what is fixable and then establish a good practice for the entire year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got 4 years left. 18 this year, 19 and 26, 27, 20. It's really 21 million and 27, 28, and then 22.4 and 28, 29. And 18 next year is already a bargain, I think, for a guy like Caruso with what he provides. By the time we get to 28, 29, like the percentage of the cap is going to be laughable if he's still healthy and playing and all of that.
Yeah, and if it's not, again, serve that purpose. I mean, would you pay 80 million in dead money to win a title once? Every owner in the league will say yes. So again, that is already great. And if you want to see it from a cap standpoint, when you have like even 2 years remaining at less than 10% of the cap or around 10% of the cap, that is something that you can easily ship off with an asset. So that contract is, but again, if he stays healthy, then it's a great contract. It's an extremely high value contract.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, let us know what do you disagree with. What other homework do these players need this summer? Let us know in the YouTube comments. Let us know. You can also comment.
Or for us.
Or for us.
What homework do we have to do in September? Because summer is already gone, but
Yeah, it's gone. Here and gone. It's fall. Although it's summer weather still.
Here we have still summer technically, but fall weather. I think that it's not great, but
Yeah, we still it's nice. It's in like the upper 80s.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It was foggy for me this morning, so not great.
Yeah, man.
Sad fog. Yeah.
Hope you guys have a great Sunday, Monday. Trying to plan a special pod for Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that.
Wow.
Hope you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday.
Until the dawn, until the dawn.